चालू है
Good evening. Right, so yes, sir. Just I'll give the introduction.
Digital TAE.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Yes. You just so very good morning, Madam present here, respected non-dignitaries, guest of honor, Dr. Tyson from CMU and President of my group. We are very privileged to have sir in India first time. We have our leadership as well with us. So, more time, we'll start the sessions.
Link
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes. Can I ask everyone to go ahead and put on themselves the link? That way. Yeah, there's space. Okay.
Curtains
I request all coordinators, faculty members, please switch on your cameras, especially seminar on quantum hub, so that Dr. Gray can view all our students.
Okay, I'm going to share this window.
Okay, I want to make sure everybody can see. Wow. Yes. So, yeah, I want to hear. Yes, yes, you have a screen share, sir. Can you see? Are you able to see? No. Yes, yes. Yes, we can see your screen. Yes, yes. I'm trying you guys can see my screen because, come on, what is this? Your screen is visible, sir, no problem. Awesome, okay. Well, I just want to say thank you for inviting me. I'm Dr. Friedman. I'm known to voice is breaking somewhere. I'm sorry? Your voice is breaking. Maybe there's an internet issue on your screen. No. Can you guys hear me? Yes, sir. You just okay, guys. Okay, no. I just want to thank everyone invited me. I'm Dr. Raymond Friedman. Just HT and public and the university. I prominent certifications, the I certification testing engineer from Ready and Ford. And of course, I'm known to be a forensic speaker. International speaker. So, and if I could ask everybody to please, just every person, please mute, because I can hear everything. Okay? So, I'd love to go in detail on I'll tell you a little bit about who I am. So we are a institute, a cybersecurity institute, and we really focus on certification, but we also focus on technology and methodology, delivering and developing cybersecurity solutions. We're known all over the world. We have over a training park. And we're expanding, especially universities. Over 250 certified individuals. We have multiple accreditations as we are on the schedule. We're We have, okay, everybody mute. I'm asking, please mute. Okay? You hear all the background. We're in universities, we're in corporate teams. Another very prominent thing about my L2 is that we have a self-developed cyber range. It's one of the most sophisticated cyber ranges in the world. We have students from all over, so many, hundreds of institutions, academic organizations connecting into Tampa, Florida. So there's basically a global access to all the students. It comes down to whatever the university has negotiated. What's really interesting about the cyber range and the hands-on labs for my L2 is that they're not fake equipment. This is real live simulations, real equipment, real applications. You're using real tools and you're managing real viruses. So it's pretty cool, and everything is real time. So you're also experiencing defense, which is blue and red team. So you're able to experience and simulate what your real world scenario would be in your. Again, very practical. It's not just theoretical, and I'm a theory guy, but I love to get my hands dirty under the hood and get my, feel the mechanics of an automobile. The same thing in the cyber range. So we have true immersive guided experience. Everything's real world, real learning, real time, and everything is centered around your career. And when it's your opportunity to get employed, you're going to experience these things. And that way it's going to build your confidence. You're used to the environment. You're used to the applications. You're used to utilizing these tools. And you're able to go in the employment, especially in the interview. You have great confidence and say, yes, I've used these tools. I've been in this environment. Okay? And by the way, I'm going to save all of my questions until the end. So this is really what the meat and potatoes are. We want to know, where is cybersecurity going? How is it escalating? How is it evolving? Well, did you know that 29% just within the U.S. and the U.S. kind of dictates we have the largest economy, but we also work with all of the countries in a more sophisticated way that no other country works. And we employ people from all over the world. Same thing in North America and Canada and Europe. US alone is projected 29% in just the information system security analyst sector. 20 the next decade. And the outcome is the last year, in which they averaged the median was 124,000 in the US. In Europe, it's about the same, 136,000 euros. And they're just in the US alone, there's 60,000 openings in the next decade. That's information systems security analysts. This isn't talking about testing. It's not talking about AI cyber response to policy. It's not talking about So what the market space is demanding is engineers that not only understand, a threat analysis or how to assess a vulnerability, but how to use tools empowered with AI, which we're going to go into detail. Are looking for, especially when it comes to a practical security team. And of course, certification signals readiness, right? University degrees are great. I have them all. I have an undergrad, a master, a PhD. But at the end of the day, I want to know, can you do it? If you were in the environment, if you were in a red scenario, how are you going to respond, right? Employers want to understand that you've been able to achieve a particular practical and theoretical bar. And that's with certifications versus having all these degrees, right? And I think most of you know that a lot of degrees are just kind of scams.
You're just going and learning, a bunch of stuff you're never going to use again. I know half of the stuff used, right? Patients, we know that you've achieved a specific discipline, a very specific job role expectation, a very specific technology. And so certification really is where everything is going. So, on a global demand, well, this is from IC School, this is one of our competitors. They're expecting that there's going to be an expansion of just 5 million in the cybersecurity workforce that is still in a gap. So they're going to accommodate all the existing jobs, and there's still going to be close to 5 million jobs not accommodated.
Sorry to disturb you. Can you please just switch off your video and switch on again? It got stuck here.
Oh, you're gonna turn on my, what? Hold on.
Just, yeah, done now. Continue. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. I'm cool. I'm pretty easy. That's why it's so important for us to be involved intimately in the AI industry. It's expected that 80%, 86% of all employers that are employing AI is going to transform their business by the end of 2030. We already see this happening, right? In academia, in the business space, in government, in instructional services. I mean, AI is having such a significant impact. But you know what happens then? That means that the more AI is being used, that is actually creating a very specialized cybersecurity skill that I'm telling you right now, it's moving so quick. This is right in the perfect time to jump in. So, but here's one big problem about AI. While it has all its benefits, it also creates a security gap when it comes to vulnerability, right? How are we going to secure models using AI? How are we going to deal with the data pipeline? Or how are we going to deal with cloud workloads when they're using AI? So AI itself is creating a vulnerability within the organization that's using AI. So it's a pretty interesting reality. So organizations need defenders. They still need thought leaders and engineers to ensure the security of the utilization of AI within their role. And finally, certification signals readiness. And it's critical that while we're learning and growing, that we have some sort of academic, theoretical, and practical bar, and that's within the cybersecurity certification field. Now, Model 2 has 30 plus certs, but we chose to focus on these. And what's very critical about them is that there is an evolution to all of this from something that's more entry level and fundamental to those things that are more advanced. And one almost built on top of the other, right? So these four, which I'll be able to go in detail, ethical hacking, certified pen testing engineer. We know that ethical hacking is, that's yesterday's news. It's kind of like kiddie scripts and what kids are doing, in the basement with a 6-pack of Red Bull and a box of kitty litter, right? The formal structure is penetration testing engineer. That's what white hat hacking is all about in compliance. We'll go into detail. And of course, cloud and virtual. That's where everything's going. Right? So we need to be versed in this virtual realm. And then finally, my baby, which I wrote, the Certified AI Cybersecurity Officer, is really about AI governance. How are we going to manage this technology? What theoretical frameworks are we going to apply? How are we going to deal with the models and the risks associated to it? And how are we going to deploy and defend against what we see nation-state actors violating with red team actions, but we're going to go into it. So this is definitely from fundamentals to a very specialized discipline. I'm out of here. Now remember, please be Again, these are very consolidated, overview of each cert. So when it comes to ethical hacking and certified penetration testing in engineering, it's really about authorized assessment methodologies. It's about vulnerability assessments. It's about using tools that do reconnaissance and map, network systems. It's about controlling exploitations and post-exploitation concepts. It's looking into the cloud and Active Directory, web, and mobile. It's really technical, and it's translating what is a vulnerability, what is a risk, and what does it take to harden the infrastructure and secure it. These are the job roles: pen testing, engineers, red team operators, blue team, purple, security consultants, and this is the average mean that we were able to ascertain: 119,000 in the US, in Europe's probably 130,000. But these are the jobs that you want to go and procure in Canada, and but everybody wants skilled engineers. So here's the second one, of course, is everything is evolving and going into the cloud and virtual. The cloud is really the adoption of mission critical systems. It's about creating something physical and creating it into a very complex virtual realm in which there is a very bizarre risk associated, because it doesn't really exist, but it does. Right? But we have to understand, how do we identify it? How do we submit this virtual and cloud system under compliance? How can we harden it and make it sure that it's resilient? And then how do we manage it when we have multi-facet cloud environments? Some companies are using, Amazon and different types of virtual systems and cloud environments. So it's very important to identify access, understanding how we can secure the data. And here's another thing that's very interesting. A lot of individuals that use security in cloud is really about implementing policy and running vulnerability assessments, but it's really also about business continuity, budget discovery concepts. Why? Because instant response is necessary. We see organizations' virtual systems becoming compromised and locked, and then they don't even know how to replicate it because they haven't had this continuity and this recovery process. And so this is now becoming a critical aspect when it comes to security cloud. This is a certified officer by Michael too. And also,
Ray, are you presenting any slides? Because your screen is not visible. Are you presenting slides on it?
yeah, yes, absolutely. You guys can see
Your
my
screen, because your screen is not shared.
Okay, you guys gotta tell me, because it covers the entire screen here. Hold on. Yeah, you guys gotta tell me, because I only see one screen. That's why I asked to keep lights. And hold on.
Screen share about automatic video.
Okay, do you see it now? Sure.
No.
You don't see my PowerPoint?
No.
It says it's shared.
No, yes. Now it is visible. You have to go back a little bit back, so
No, I love doing this stuff.
and just switch off your video so that there should not be any lag.
Okay, you want me to turn it off? Alright.
Yeah, right now.
I'm trying here, guys. Hold on.
Yeah,
Let me just
right.
turn-
Go ahead.
Hold on. Yeah. Whatever. Okay, I got you. This is, alright. Everyone's doing a thumbs up at least. That's pretty cool. Alright. Okay, can you guys see my PowerPoint presentation? Hello? Okay, everybody can hear it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Alright, great. I'm waiting for you guys. Okay, you guys want me to go back one slide from here, okay?
Yes, sir.
Alright, very good. Okay. Alright, I'm not used to using Google, I use Zoom. Okay. let's do this. Share, yes. So we're gonna do this. Ah. It's not, there you go. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna go brief. We already heard this. So this is the certification track that I was talking about. So did you guys see this screen yet, or do you want me to go further before that? Okay, no worries. So basically, these are the 4 certifications that we are covering: the ethical hacking, the pen testing, the cloud security, and the AI cybersecurity officer. All right, and I'm going to go in greater detail in this slide. Okay. All right. So as I mentioned before, right, the whole entire cybersecurity realm is based on ethical hacking and pen testing. We know that's been around for more than a decade, and as I mentioned before, some of the key critical job role expectations is going to be understanding red and blue team hacking methodology, reconnaissance, mapping infrastructure, controlled exploitation, because nobody wants you taking down their system. They want you to actually confirm that the system is vulnerable. That actually takes a lot of intelligence. It's all about securing cloud, securing the web, and the mobile devices within the network. And of course, it's translating from technical problems and evidence into a business, securing this risk by creating a technical report, an executive report. So high-level observers who don't understand technicalities can appreciate and respect the role of a pen tester. And these are some of the job roles: red team operators, or purple and blue, security consultants, and pen testing engineers. And the incomes are very high. The pen testing was basically 20,000. Same thing with the cybersecurity officer. And as I mentioned before, it's really about securing virtual data. And it's very interesting in understanding availability and not only availability, but adaptability, scalability, right? These things are very important. And also access. So implementing and understanding authentication and privilege limitations. It's also understanding not only securing the data, but as I mentioned before, business continuity and disaster recovery processes are critical, because what are they attacking? Not just network now, but obviously cloud. Cloud is securing all the data. So it's important that we replicate, whether it's a hot or a warm or a cold replicated site. But this is very important because it's all about resilience and ensuring the continuation of operations of your organization. And finally, all these things are falling under legal compliance, okay? With discovery and GDPR, right? We have HIPAA, all sorts of different types of compliances. All right? And then, of course, we have the Certified AI Cybersecurity Officer, which is my baby. It's the certification course and book that I wrote. And what I love about this is it goes far beyond understanding what AI is. This is not what this course is about. This is about securing AI systems. It's about understanding how AI is used to poison networks or how it's manipulated and misused. It's all about governance and theoretical frameworks. I'm actually working on an agentic AI cybersecurity theoretical framework, which is so important because it's not just now AI, it's got multiple AI working together collaboratively to do something that is proactive and decision-making. It's not just about you request information and it provides it. This is all very intelligent, almost like a human. So we need to understand how do we harness this power? How do we deploy it securely? And how do we manage it in a fashion where it's competent incident response? And then finally, it's so important that when you deploy AI, are we using it safely? Remember, we have Internet of Things. Everything is interfacing and touching each other. So it's so critical that when you deploy AI, that it's part of the formulation of your organizational objectives from the ground up. Because it's like security. A lot of people, they want to patch and say, oh, we have a vulnerability, so here's a security patch, or here's the control. AI really needs to be thought out from the basis of all technologies so that we understand how they map and touch and how we could be very careful and respect the authority of AI. We also need to understand how AI can respond to malignant or malicious AI-led attacks from nation-state actors. So it's all about hardening models against AI malicious attacks. It's all about securing MLOPs. It's all about compliance validations. Ultimately, it's all about governance and governing AI risk. So again, there's a lot to be said. These are the average means. Generally, it's a summation of the career you guys are going to choose, the income that is the outcome of you learning and mastering these disciplines. We only came up with a handful of certifications. I have so many that I'm excited about. Mount is also coming out with a new forensics analysis, which is all about the forensics network, digital, cloud. It's just amazing. So that will security analysts role. And AI is just managing all these different technologies. So there's a global demand, right? And it's looking really bright. This is where you want to be, that or becoming a medical doctor. Everyone's always getting sick, right? So this is basically, next steps. You have to choose your lane. What is it that you're passionate about? Do you want to be a pen tester? Do you want to get into ethical hacking and working with networks and infrastructures? Or do you want to go into virtual realm, right, where everything's going? Or do you want to become the AI cybersecurity ninja master, right? And fall in line in security leadership. So that's my expertise. So you got to choose what you want to get involved with. Secondly, you got to make sure that whatever you're doing, you're always emotionally and intimately experiencing and interfacing with real stuff, real scenarios, so that you are job ready and you have those skills that you're able to use in the job position. And they're going to have great confidence in hiring you. And finally, you got to get certified. It's all about earning credentials. It's all about the flash. You need your mile 2 flash, people, right? Mile 2 represents going the second mile. So we're excited that you're going to be joining us. And every student here, which you'll have to work with your university, Mile 2 is going to provide a free compliance aptitude assessment certification program and even security awareness. But you got to work with your university. I'm working with my distributor. I actually created that within my dissertation, and it's really all about compliance and being certified and showing your employer that you are a person that theoretically, emotionally, psychologically is one who has aptitude to follow compliance, because that's really the problem, isn't it? Right? It's always the human factor that's the issue. It's never the theory, it's never the framework or the compliance standard. It's always someone falling short. So this certification proves to your employer that you're incredibly competent, and it measures 3 dimensions. You'll see when you log on and take the BCA. So we're hoping the first few hundred are going to be free. After that, it's $100 US. So we'd love for you to take advantage of it. All right, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and close my PowerPoint here and get this and turn on my video so that we can have a wonderful discussion. Okay, people? All right. Do we got any questions for Dr. Raymond Friedman? Or maybe there's oh yeah, oh thank you, I appreciate it, thank you. All the way from Florida. It's a privilege. I can't wait to present again for you guys. Maybe something more how to implement AI controls. How do you apply AI governance? So thank you so much. You guys are all awesome. Next time you'll invite me in India, and I can enjoy a glass of mango lassi. That's my favorite. Okay? You guys are too kind. Okay, Amanda, I'm ready for some questions. You guys are all too kind. I'm getting all these Thumbs up, claps, hearts. Feel like a rock star. Oh, okay, we have a question. I don't even know how to use this. Okay, hello? Aditya, is that correct? Hold on. You have to unmute yourself. I don't know what I'm doing here. I did not use Google Meets, guys, but I'm doing my best. Okay, I'm ready for questions, guys, or maybe you're trying and you need to unmute. Oh, here we go, let's see. Oh! Approximate income? Okay, are you presenting your slides? Okay. Okay, guys, ask your questions. There's like hundreds of you. Okay? Somebody wants to have a very interesting known fact about Dr. Raymond Friedman while people are typing their questions. Did you know that I was an elite triathlete and I was a 7-time All-American and raced for Team USA in Europe? That's what I did for 7 years because I got bored, okay? And I raced in a P5 Italian Cervelo. All right, any other questions?
Guys, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question to Lisa, please.
Yeah, they're asking questions, but they're muted. Now, there's got to be more questions than this. There's 200 of y'all. Well, this is coming up about certification. So, a majority of the exams are 70% passing. And you can take them any time you want, right? It's an open book, it's only 2 hours, but it's 100 questions, and people think it's gonna be easy, it's not, because if you don't know the answer, you're gonna be flipping over 1,000 pages with a 300-page lab guide, so good luck, and you're just gonna burn time. And that's the biggest issue, a lot of people can't finish if they don't know the content. I mean, you guys are smart, everyone passes in India, all right, I don't know, you guys are brilliant. So it's 100 questions, it's online, virtual. You take a voucher code, you just redeem it, and Shazam. It's added to your account, and you can take it pretty much anytime you want. 70%, 2 hours. Once you pass, you get a badge, and a certificate, and a number, in which your employer can go ahead and look on mile2.com. So they don't have to ask, Mile2, is this legitimate? They'll see your name and your number. Any other questions? Oh, we have a hand up. Hello. Okay. How AI can be used to detect zero-day threats? Well, it depends on what AI application you're using. That's a really good question. I'm going to tell you right now, how can we manage or competently utilize an application that claims to basically detect zero-day threats? So the only answer is that there's a central database that's collecting all this data. And the AI, as it's assessing and flagging malicious code, it's automatically sending to a central database. The US is doing a lot of that, especially my expertise in critical infrastructure. The problem with AI in a lot of circumstances is that they're only connecting with their own organization, not a outsourced organization that centralizes with other AI apps what malicious code or viruses are out there. So within critical infrastructure, yeah, there's a government central database. when something is confirmed as malicious or malignant, it's notified, and then it's propagated to every single critical infrastructure entity in all 16 different sectors, and it's notified and immediately starts to deploy a countermeasure, okay, and appropriate control that would make that infrastructure resilient to potentially that attack. So that's how AI is being used. Another thing too is you're asking the AI application to be proactive and responsive. So there's a big difference between AI asking a question and it gives you data, right? What you're asking the AI application now is to not only provide data, but based on pre-configured and acceptable scenarios, they're able to respond and act out. That's what you're asking. So that's what a lot of agentic AI applications are all about. That's the ones that I'm working with. So depends on your industry, what organization, what kind of AI, what agentic collaborative AI apps are being used, how is it being outsourced and interfacing with a centralized system. So yeah, I mean, remember AI and agentic AI is very different, right? Agentic AI is more human, right? There's a response. Okay, here's another question, now we're rolling. How can organizations ensure that sensitive user data remains completely private and anonymized when utilizing AI to convert? You know what, everybody is, I'm gonna tell you right now, it is a big issue. Because everyone's super excited to use AI. It's consolidating job roles, but what they're forgetting is that the AI that they deploy sees and feels and experiences all the organizational data. And what's happening is that a lot of engineers are not thoughtfully deploying it and understanding what data and applications that it's interfacing with. Again, Internet of Things, right? And AI, a lot of AI is evolving and growing and developing based on, its response, right? And what it receives. So that's where governance and compliance is going, because it's become a major issue, especially in the financial and medical space. It's not just in the organization, and that's another issue, that all the compliance is so focused around the medical and customer sensitive spaces. But what about just business? What about the data that is found in telecommunications? Isn't that important? Right? I mean, some people say, well, everyone has their name and perhaps birthday and address, but what about individuals that finance phones? Right? We have social security numbers, date of birth, sensitive data. So that's just within a telecommunications organization that finances stuff. So what are we doing about it? I think it's still so premature. AI is moving so fast. That's why we need everybody to be part of the cyber AI campaign, Model 2C certified AI cybersecurity officer. So it's really about compliance and better understanding and deploying AI at the same time as they're deploying a technology. So that's one of the critical things. Governance, frameworks, and deploying at base. How can we avoid online fraud? That's a complete different question from AI, my friend. How can we avoid online fraud? That's too general. Be careful what website you go to. Ensure that you know that the site is secure. Downloading an application and making sure that all the apps, the websites that you're going have good ratings. All of that, right? How do you integrate threat data within the help of AI and identify false positives? Well, first of all, I know, right? Well, first of all, incident handling applications are all about measuring what's standard, right? And anything within, let's say, high and low, it's like noise, right? If you're too low, It's flat, like I can't hear you. This is the same thing when it comes to technology, or information. If it's not within that, within that realm, if it's below, or it's not, what is it, been predetermined to be acceptable, it's, right? It's an anomaly. It's not normal. And so, really, it's all about pre-configuring AI, is to understanding what is acceptable, what is normal, and so that's number one. Anything that is statistically an anomaly should be flagged. And the AI is constantly vigilant and watching and hearing and learning and evolving. And anything that is statistical anomalies flagged. And that's where we need human intelligence. I worked on a theoretical model within my PhD that extended the social systems technical theory. So social systems technical theory is about, personnel and our relationship to technology. Well, I pushed it further. It's about human intelligence, interfacing and working and mastering artificial intelligence, because we need to configure the brain. AI is still habitually producing broken and false information. So it's very important that we configure it intelligently and help it understand what is acceptable data. And anything outside of what is perceived to be acceptable is flagged. So that's where we learn how to identify false positives. Is there any solution for this? Hopefully I explained that. Why should we update software? Because we have bad guys who are always trying to figure out how to exploit applications and infrastructure and networks today. So they're already tomorrow. So if you're not eventually going back to your cybersecurity application and uploading updates, then you may be susceptible to a vulnerability of malware that didn't flag it as an anomaly, didn't say, hey, something's bizarre about this, right? This code emulates this virus. So it's very important that we eventually update the list of potential and malignant viruses from your third-party application. Okay. All right. What are the concerns or loopholes within cybersecurity using AI? What are the concerns? The concerns is that at the end of the day, AI is unharnessed and unregulated, and it's able to evolve faster than how we can manage it. That's one of the biggest concerns that we have. Number two, that we didn't think out the ramifications of allowing AI to interface with specific data. I think we see things at the surface level. AI, like I have an application, and I've done hundreds of pen tests, tons of vulnerabilities. I'm an expert in vulnerability reports for execs. I've written tons of disaster recovery, business continuity, processes, practices, and procedures. It's very relevant because if you get compromised and you have to deal with the incident, you have to know how to departmentalize it. You need to cut it off. You have to isolate it. You have to eradicate it. Well, there's a process for that. And the process is implemented in your cybersecurity policy manual under DRBCP and incident handling. The problem is that we're using AI to empower organizations, but we're not really contemplating the ramifications of its access to data. And it's a problem. Loopholes, there's no loopholes, my friends. I think AI is one of the most it's dichotomous. It's beautiful and dreadful all at the same time. It's the most magnificent technology probably ever built, and it's probably the most malicious, disastrous, unifying technology that, centralizes power and authority. So it's beautiful, and at the same time, if we don't empower you young people to take your role, it's going to be out of hand. If you were in my position today with only basic cybersecurity knowledge, what roadmap would you follow for the next 12 months to become job ready? Love the question. I would probably start off with understanding what the bad guys do. That's what I did. I was one of the first people to build a hacking application against Cisco networks and Microsoft applications. I wanted to learn, how do I defend against something so malicious? So I would go into pen testing, ethical hacking, understanding these concepts. Remember, cybersecurity in its umbrella is very general. It has all these sub-domains, right? Disaster recovery is not ethical hacking. Ethical hacking isn't networking. It isn't. Networking isn't digital forensics. Digital forensics isn't network. These are all, they're independent domains working together collaboratively to secure whatever infrastructure or data that you have. So I would start off with ethical hacking and pen testing. Actually, you know what I'd start off with? Cybersecurity principles. Cybersecurity principles certification course by Mile 2 is awesome because it introduces all the subject matter domains of cybersecurity. Right? I think it's like 12 or 14, I'm gonna go back to it. And you start to wonder, what is your appetite? What is it that you want to accomplish? Are you organically interested in digital network forensics? Are you organically attracted to pen testing and ethical hacking? I love that stuff. And then from there, you start learning all the models and theoretical frameworks and internal controls and practices and policies in the certified ISO setup. So I start with cybersecurity principles. I go straight into probably pen testing. And then I'd probably go into, honestly, the cybersecurity analysts and AI. That's what I would do. That would get me the best job ever. And I'd hire myself, people, okay? I'd hire me, all right? Questions? So those are 4 courses that I would do. Let's see. And you can do them all in 12 months. How do cyber attacks affect the economy, business, and society? You guys, I'm going to download my cybersecurity threat report. Everybody can get it for free. I'm going to give you guys a link. You guys all get it, and it's going to tell you exactly what the top 10 cyber threats are in our cybersecurity landscape. And not only the threats, but the results against our economy in all the different spaces, just like what this Rohit has asked, and how to remediate it, solutions for 2026. So I'm gonna drop that there afterwards. So the BCAA and the cyber threat threat landscape report. You guys all need to download it. You all need to share it. All right, it's free. I wrote it. I got bored. That's what happens. I don't watch TV. I don't watch. Then we build, create, study, make money. I'm sure we all can resonate with that. Okay. Is there any compliance frameworks for AI? No, not necessarily. I'm actually creating an agentic AI theoretical model. They're trying to work with particular universities, #1 in aeronautics in the world, and one of the military agencies that manage and supporting military teams over there, but not necessarily. Now, you'll get a lot of models and frameworks in my book. I wrote it. It's on Amazon. AI cybersecurity playbook, check it out. Okay? How is AI sustainable and reliable for later future for cyber? Nobody knows. Nobody. How is it sustainable? What's the future of AI? Now we're at agentic AI, 5 AI apps working together to be one brain. I'm under the assumption that we'll be able to harness its attributes, whatever it is that we have predefined and determined of what they should be. The whole goal is to allow AI to function very similarly like human intelligence. But while it theoretically does a decision-making process, right, that's predetermined, doesn't just think, doesn't just produce information, but based on that information, it makes the decision-making processes that we're able to intelligently give instructions as to when the manager, the human intelligence, is able to say, that's where you stop. And this is where you depend on me to get further instruction. So that's what I think. That's where we're at. That's why we need you guys. This is all about red teaming. We need blue team and purple team experts. Right? So can data model be? Absolutely it can be. That's why we need to understand how they function. How do they act out? That's what we're experiencing right now from nation state actors. They're utilizing AI in very powerful means by poisoning networks and infecting system networks, mapping out very critical networks by very large organizations. AI is doing it all. So of course, what are some top myths about cybersecurity that you wish people stopped believing? That having a cybersecurity policy manual is enough. Or understanding cybersecurity is enough. Or having enough knowledge is enough. Or having cybersecurity certified staff is enough. That having a cybersecurity tool that maps out and shows vulnerabilities is enough. Because it's not. What the biggest myth is that within my PhD, I learned that the most significant impact to an organization's cybersecurity resilience level, would you believe, was one's ability or desire to submit to compliance? A mediating factor that was so mind-blowing. It was the most significant factor. So you can have the most certified staff, the most intelligent staff, all the money you want, and you're still going to fail compliance. You're still going to get compromised, right? Because people have a bad attitude. They choose to usurp authority, usurp compliance. Executives, they're super guilty people, okay? There's your minute. What cybersecurity skills will be most valuable in the future? Probably an AI threat analysis individual, one who knows how to utilize this technology to assess threats. Because we have so much information, so much communication. How do you know, how do you filter it all? I think forensically speaking, utilizing AI, I think that that's what it's going to be, because the more we use AI, and again, it's so beautiful, it's also incredibly dangerous. Okay? Well, these are all wonderful questions. See, I knew we had a very talkative crowd. Very talkative crowd. Okay? What's my favorite ice cream? Rocky Road, everybody. Okay? All right, I'm going to put in, everybody, hold on, let's see if I can do this. Hold on. I am going to give everybody information on where to get access to all of these items. But again, you will need a voucher. So here we go, hold on. Okay, I just want to know, did you guys receive the link to the BCA? Do you see it? Of course, let's see. So there are two, you can get a certification, the actual printed cert, so you'll need a voucher for that, which I'm more than happy to provide. So here's where you get the BCCA, but you need to actually get a printout cert. You need to go to your university. Okay, it's $100 value, just $100 value. And here is our threat launch your global threat report. This is free. Oh, are you guys getting it? Okay. And here's one more little, nice little caveat. Do you guys want to know more about jailbreaking prevention guides? I went there. I was born one day. All right, so those are three amazing products. Where the product is the behavioral compliance aptitude assessment. You can take it for free, but if you want the actual cert printed, you're gonna have to go to your university, and you want it. Okay. Secondly, you have the global cyber threat. Somebody asked all about how does it affect economy, business, society. I love that question. Rohit, you're a genius, not your fault, you're born that way. So here you got the cyber threat report, download it, put your information. And then finally, the AI cybersecurity jailbreak prevention guide. That's free. See how blessed you guys are to be part of this wonderful presentation? Okay, do we have any more questions, my friends? Or is it coffee time? Okay, excellent. Any other questions? Wait, I can hear you.
Yes, you can unmute yourself and you can ask questions.
Or you will put it in chat box.
Yes, or you can put the question in chat box.
And do anything you want. It's a free country, guys. Okay? Okay, here's another question. Of course AI endpoints can be attacked. But remember, it's really about how you deploy AI. What is the purpose of you using AI, right? Everyone's using AI to create or have a marketing campaign or conjure up some new instructional design thing, book, presentation. A lot of people aren't, or a workflow. So, when you talk about how do you provide more security at the endpoints, it's really about, again, as I mentioned before, oh, look at that, we have a big classroom. This is pretty awesome. We had classrooms here too, it's great.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. This is the Center of Excellence by Trinity and the hall that you can see here.
Wow.
Great Hackfest, and you can meet the students as well.
Wow, everybody. Wow. Everybody's looking good.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I respect that. Like it. Next time I should be there. What's going on? I told you, make the law sees my thing. Okay, all right. So, again, we can talk about, one of the big issues that we're having right now is people are just applying AI into their infrastructure. to use it in some form, again, for some sort of marketing thing. I mean, some sort of thing, presentation, workflows, books, instructional design, but they're not understanding that this relationship is creating vulnerabilities. So how do we provide more security, as I mentioned, when you're deploying a new application, right? We're always doing secure code. We're always trying to figure out what's the language, how many pages, let's do a secure code to see if anything's broken. We do a pen test on the application before it's deployed. But while it is in its organic, natural basis, in the sandbox, if you will, we say, are we going to use AI with this application? So then let's go ahead at its infancy stages, as we're collaborating and theoretically working out in our minds the purpose of this application, its use, its availability, its access, and how will AI be relevant? What limitations should we have with this AI? What access will this AI app have? With not only domestically, organically in the environment, but interfacing with the outside world, right? So it's really all about integrating AI, cyber policy, at the infancy stages of any technology. That's going to be the right. What is the coupon code for the certification? You have to get it from your university president or decision maker. I'm going to give it to Random, who's my distributor, my friend, and he's going to give it to your head, and we'll count how many people we want. You'll get the code. So you can, as I told you can take the actual exam for free. You'll get your code, but if you want the cert, which you want, gotta get the $100 discount code. And then I will go ahead and make sure that everybody gets it who wants to take it. So it's 60 questions, it's an hour, it's easy. You guys got it. I believe in you. I believe in all of you in that classroom. Okay? Okay, how to mitigate shadow AI risks? Okay. That's a good question. I'm assuming when you're saying shadow, you're talking about an AI emulating or creating a facade within an environment that assumes or thinks that it's running a particular agent. I'm assuming that's what you're saying. How do you mitigate shadow AI risks? Real simple. As I told you before, we have to have predetermined configurations as to what is its job function, what is it assessing, what is it filtering. That way, when there's an anomaly, right? For example, we say, I'm going to its most basic conceptual understanding, right? So we may tell a model, when you see this, you stop, ready to stop. You see green, you go, right? But you act or respond to no other color. So if yellow shows up, the AI says, I don't recognize this color. And it depends on on the human intelligence to make that decision-making process. And so you get a flag report. So how do you, okay, what are the biggest ever security threats expected in the next 5 years? You're gonna have to go and read my threat analysis. Absolutely, it's going to be AI against critical infrastructure. You know why? Because within critical infrastructure, if you're able to compromise an electric grid while it's cold, let's say North America, it's 0 degrees, think about how many lives have passed. No one eats, especially the elderly. How long does that go? 2 days, 3 days, 7 days? Now you say, well, there was a case study about petroleum. And in particular, the largest petroleum provider in the southeast of America was compromised. Couldn't run petroleum for 6 days. They had to pay them. I'm just saying that was just petroleum. Can you imagine? Right? So, we have some more questions here. There you go. I think the biggest issue that we have is securing critical infrastructure, everyone. And critical infrastructure is aging. And they're continuing to use archaic infrastructure, and they're trying to apply or deploy high-level technologies on an old, outdated infrastructure. And now they're injecting AI into it. So AI is again, with malicious state actors, they're deploying red team methodologies against them. And in some cases, they're working. So I think these are aging critical infrastructure, especially in India, we have that problem too. That's why they're needed. How do you protect AI models from being hacked? How about number one? Where is the AI model coming from? Is it from a trusted country? If not, should we be deploying it? I believe that the United States, this is just because this is where I live, you should feel the same way, that unless the model, where it's created, whoever it's being sourced from, for whatever country, if they're not a trusted government, you should not be deploying that model. I don't care. It makes no sense to do so. That's number one. Okay? Number two, did you consider the use, its objectives, the AI at the basis of your cybersecurity policy? Or is it just like an add-on, like sprinkles on an ice cream, which I love? That's not going to be as advantageous. There's going to be vulnerabilities, spaces that you overlooked. But man, I didn't realize that this application interfaced with this application. For example, here's a good one. There's a water plant that was compromised. Didn't seem like a big deal. It's water. And they were able to, using AI, they were able to interface, actually, how can I say this? Application that dictates the solvents and chemicals for cleaning the water, they had access to it. Now, I want you to think about that. You may say, well, what's the big deal? Well, if you unleash a large volume of these chemicals that are used to filter water, they become poisonous. And this water is being propagated all over the state. Like my city, which I'm sure is probably small to you guys, where I dwell, has almost 2 million people in our city. You guys probably are laughing like, we have 50 million. All right? So my point is that if we're going to protect AI, our models, we have to first understand where are they being developed. Are we going to deploy them within our organization? Okay? And the second, are we implementing and considering AI and its attributes at its infancy stages? Are we modeling them out and exercising and seeing and simulating them before they're deployed in a live environment? Why do many AI models operate as black boxes? You have to expound on that, but I'm assuming utilizing AI as black box testing. I mean, AI, well, I'll tell you if that's where you're going, right? Nanotechnology, supercomputing, quantum computing, and it's empowering AI, so of course, its ability to, apply rainbow passwords at atomic, nuclear, quantum speeds is powerful now. So AI is powerful because of quantum computing. So black box testing, utilizing these different technologies, is quite simple now. Black box testing was very complicated and very time-consuming. Not with quantum computing or AI being supported and powered by quantum. So, course, yeah, without any underlying logic, of course. Of course. When you're executing black box texting, and that, with that methodology, of course it's without underlying logic. But remember, these are a lot of these questions are very general. What is the objective of the AI technology that you're utilizing and deploying? Because there's so many. When we're creating something like a cybersecurity like Brainchild, we're using 5 or 6 different agentic AI, and each agent has its expertise, and they're all collaborating, functioning in unison, right? Okay, do we have any other questions? Okay. Okay, Shoaib, yeah. Okay.
I think Shoaib wants to ask something. Sure, go ahead. You can ask the question. One more question is there. What is the scope in cybersecurity considering that AI is now an integral part of it?
Well, well, of course. Remember, AI is just a model brain. And so it's used in different sectors. When you apply cybersecurity, you're asking it to function as a thinker and saying, okay, let's say I inject a process. So I want you to simply, without me worrying about it, constantly scan a network for vulnerabilities. So that's process number 1. That's the first scope. A very, very important scope. Why? Because vulnerability assessments are required. That's right. Yeah. So that's one process. Then you ask, well, if you find a vulnerability, can you confirm that it's exploitable? So that's process number 2. Okay. And then if it is exploitable, can we confirm what that vulnerability is and understand the different remediation processes? Now that's when it starts to become complicated, but it can be done. But let's just say what A is the primary, is predetermined. Again, the next phase within that scope of AI's decision-making process. Okay. All right. Can AI models face data breach? Of course they can. Of course they can. It's happening now. That's the whole point of AI counter-defending AI attacks. So now if you go into my cybersecurity playbook, I have several chapters on red teaming using AI, blue teaming, and purple. And so I explain how to counter-respond using AI methodologies against malicious AI attacks, red teaming. What is the best?
Everything. One question from Shuri. What is the best cybersecurity law that is needed in USA and other AI-integrated countries?
I appreciate, first of all, I love the questions. This is a great one. It's really all applying cybersecurity policy and implementing controls when AI is first considered. So I believe that the certified AI cybersecurity officer is the most important job role. Why? Because it's not so much that it's like this practical thing. It's more about integrating rules and regulations and theoretically mapping out your mind and applying models in a framework where we're using AI responsibly, where we are respecting the authority of AI. So the cybersecurity as a manager, right, as an officer, certified AI cybersecurity officer, is the most critical job role. That's why I created that. I didn't think it was about creating AI technology or this AI has this function or this attribute or it has this ability. To me, that's irrelevant. What's relevant is it's kind of like this, if I may I'm sure a lot of you guys have children. Well, when you have a child, the child has to follow rules and regulations. You have expectations of your child, right? How do you utilize their time? You know, what do they consume? What are they putting in their brain? I personally believe as an information system security officer, we have to be experts in understanding as to predetermining practices, procedures, and policies as to how we handle AI technology and before it's ever deployed. So that's my position. That's why I'm an AI strategist, you know, thought leader, whatever you want to call me. I have a very healthy reverence for AI. And if we're not wise, AI can be very, very destructive. That's why the human intelligence needs to stay in a fashion where we have control over, but we have to think out everything, and that requires our mind. Cybersecurity analyst, cybersecurity information systems officer, okay? Okay guys, I think that's all the questions. I think we're at an hour and a half. But I'm ready for another one, you know, but I want to respect everyone's time. And of course, it's early in the morning here. Okay? Okay, Samuel, I think that we're done. Or shall I continue? I'm good either way. I think you're muted. Okay. Well, I think that concludes our session, and I think you know, if anybody else has would like to have another. I think I have another presentation someday. I don't know. I'm presenting everywhere: Philippines, Bangladesh, Canada. So I just have my sessions. But it's been awesome chatting with everybody and answering questions. Guys, any questions you can ask? Any more? Any other questions? Guys, any questions from your side? Please, you can ask the questions. We are live now from all the classrooms and labs. Dr. Desa, our principal sir, is also there in the lab. He's checking her hand. Yeah, it's yes. Actually, he is on the ground, sir. Is there another question? Yes, sir. Let me in principal, sir. Yes, sir. Principal, sir, is there. Hey, how are you? So let me introduce Dr. Rupesh Patil, sir, Principal of Training Academy of Engineering. A great leader, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Can you hear me, Dr. Mehmet?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear.
Nice to have you on board, sir.
Nice to meet you. All in Florida.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you doing? Good?
Yeah, I thought we were going to do this presentation in India, but I guess I misunderstood.
So my students are very excited and they are listening to you. Maybe we have a meeting at 4 o'clock again, Indian time. So I'll be there in my meeting.
Yeah, well, I look forward to it. I look forward to collaborating with very high-functioning thinkers.
Yeah, I think we already have collaboration back between would like to have you in the campus offline mode as well.
That's good. I travel around. I was a little crazy one time. I flew to Israel, and went to Palestine.
Alright, yeah, alright, thank you, sir. Okay, sir,
Yes, sir, thank you so much, sir.
thank you.
Okay, we'll talk. All right. Well, listen. That's it. I don't think this will.
So before we to conclude, sir, let me present a word of thanks from India. We are very thankful to have you here, sir. As my principal sir told us, let's have one offline visit to India in Pune. We have a very lush green campus of 125 acres of campus where we have 12 different colleges. There are 3 different engineering colleges having more than 30,000 students, sir.
I love that. Happy students is my favorite. And I can't wait to collaborate, work with everybody, and empower everybody. I believe education should be accessible and everybody certified. Everybody employed. That's my goal.
Thank you, sir. So on behalf of Computer Department and TAE campus, and students, faculties, we are very grateful to you have here, sir. Thank you so much for being here, sir. Thank you so much.
And all I connect at 7 a.m. in the morning. Have a nice sleep. We'll again connect at 7 a.m. in the morning.
2 hours of sleep, okay? I'll get my feet.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night. Yes.
Okay.
Aji, okay, kira